They talked for a while about a Gladiator 2. You remember that? And a few years ago, the first whisper started coming around, and the original idea was that Maximus, General Maximus, who had died, of course, at the end of the first Gladiator, is up there with the Roman deities, and they decide to send him back. And they were going to send him back, and that was the elevator pitch for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, for Gladiator 2. And I love Gladiator. I love that movie, but I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. That is not a sequel I want. Well, then years passed, and then we heard a while ago again that Ridley Scott is still intent on making a Gladiator 2, but this time it was going to be changed up a little bit. This time it's going to be following Lucius, who is the little kid in the first Gladiator. It's now 30 years later, and he's all grown up, and they're going to pick it up from there. And then we said, okay, that could be interesting. Well, now it got more interesting, because according to reports that are now out, Pedro Pascal, who is hot as fire right now, not just Last of Us and Mandalorian, but also did one of the best episodes of Saturday Night Live in a long time. What was it? Lisa from Temecula is still a thing that makes me laugh myself sick. Well, apparently he is joining up with the Gladiator cast as well, which adds him to a growing and all-star cast. Take a look at this. So with Pedro Pascal reportedly joining up, he is joining Denzel Washington, who's got a little bit of experience working with Ridley Scott. Paul Mescal, who's going to be playing the grown-up Lucius. Connie Nielsen is reportedly, and I haven't seen a confirmation of this, but there are reports saying that she will be returning again to play Lucius' mother, which is what she played in the original Gladiator. And Academy Award nominated Barry Keoghan, of course, from Eternals. He was briefly the Joker in the new Batman movie, and was just nominated for the Colin Farrell film. Why am I suddenly freezing on the name?
Banshees of Inisherin.
Banshees of Inisherin, thank you. Where he was nominated for that as well. And he's apparently he's going to be playing Emperor Gaeta in that as well. Look,
Emperor Gaeta?
This,
I know Emperor Gaeta.
this to me tells me a couple things. This tells me a couple things. That the script for this must actually be pretty good. If you're getting Denzel Washington signing up for it, because listen, the thing about Pedro Pascal is you got to understand he's getting 1,000 scripts to him sent every day. Not after today, because there won't be any more scripts. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Pedro Pascal is getting Pedro is getting like thousands of scripts sent to him. He's getting producers calling his phones every 5 minutes, offering him roles. And for him to say, yes, this one interests me. Barry Keoghan, with, of course, an Academy Award nomination now, his career's on a big upward trajectory. Yes, I want to be a part of that. That gives me a little bit of confidence in this project. And of course, Ray will tell you the most important thing about this is being directed by the guy who directed The Martian. And that's all really anything that Ray cares about. He directed The Martian. So I think this sounds great. Chris, you heard this news and it looks like, apparently it's not a final signed deal, but they're in final negotiations for him to join this thing. What do you think about Pedro Pascal and Gladiator 2? And does this tell you anything about the project itself? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think it speaks volumes about the project that, this is something that a whole bunch of Hollywood A-listers and heavy hitters want to be a part of, which makes sense because all of you love the original movie so much. I do want to say, Rob and I have plans to watch this. He wants to show me this with his Dolby Atmos and everything so I can finally watch Gladiator as it should be intended to be seen on a very large screen and everything. So all of you can stop being so mad at me for missing this as a child.
It is one of the great, it is truly one of the great motion pictures.
I only hear good things about it, so I am looking forward to watching it finally. But I do think that this is a really, really great boom for this, right? I mean, Pedro Pascal is in everything right now. He's doing murder mystery apps. He's doing SNL. He is fantastic. And having Denzel in the mix too, Connie Nielsen, who I first really fell in love with, honestly, in Law & Order. I'm really excited to have her on board too, potentially. This is a really, really great cast.
And by the way, I also mentioned there's rumors going around that I think are fairly credible that Jaimon Hansu will also be returning to reprise his role from the original film. You probably didn't know.
I didn't know he was in it.
He was in the original film. Yes.
That's very exciting.
And what will you say to your wife? That is none of your business. He's great. Jaimon is great in that, and apparently he's going to be
He's
returning
great
as well.
in everything.
Oh,
Gosh,
he's so good.
good.
You know, he stars in what I think might be my favorite Steven Spielberg film, was his Amistad. And that's the first film I think anybody really, but I fell in love with Djimon Hounsou in that film. But at any rate, guys, question is for you. It looks like Pedro Pascal is going to be joining up with Gladiator 2, adding to what is turning out to be an all-star cast, working with a Hall of Fame director. Has your anticipation for this project changed at all? I know I used to hate the idea of it, but I now cannot wait for it. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's show, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. When the spring sunshine is calling your name, don't call for takeout. Get HelloFresh instead. Their quick and easy meals make feeding the family and yourself a cinch, and without the high price tag. Their new fast and fresh options are ready in just 15 minutes or less. And guys, don't worry about it if you're not exactly a pro in the kitchen. HelloFresh's foolproof recipes arrive pre-portioned and easy to prepare in just a few steps. You guys know Ann and I have been using HelloFresh for a long time now, and we absolutely love it. Both of us being working professionals, it's often difficult for us to find time to make dinner together. But with HelloFresh, it's easy, it's fun, and it's absolutely delicious. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the code Campea16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Campea16 using the promo code for 16 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.